Hi everyone, it's January 19th, which is a little mind-blowing to Arthur and I because already not even LifeVantage business. That means Arthur and I have two of our kids that just got a year older. We have we have birthdays in December and two birthdays in January. So our two that are 23 are officially 24 and Arthur and I just cannot believe like how does this happen? I was just 24. There's no way. But it does tell us, right? And that if we're not intentional about our life and what we're building and where we're spending our time, time will go by. And then we're like, then what? So I posted a a podcast. I'm not I'm being truthful. It is a long podcast. However, those of you that love James Clear, know Atomic Habits, I love the book, but the interview that he did with this gentleman, and I'm not familiar with this other guy actually, but the interview that he did was so transformative because when I listened to it, I was listening to it with the ears of my LifeVantage business. So when I put it in there in Telegram for you guys to listen to, I wanted you guys to reflect because we could think about a lot of things in our lives that we want to improve and need to have habits towards and things like that. And so you can like put the spin on it in any which way for your life you wanted to. But I really wanted you to think about it in terms of LifeVantage. So if you haven't listened to it, just take the time. You can listen to it while you're driving or cooking dinner or things like that. It doesn't require like intense focus. This can be a multitasking it thing, right? We talk about the devastation of multitasking. I'll let you multitask on this. So, we're going to talk a little bit about why does that relate to LifeVantage? Why now in January? What is critical about it? Um, and what sort of I'll quote habits are we going to do or change or establish because of our focus in business? So, 2 weeks ago, when we were here in the beginning of January, we were all talking about some of our goals and what we wanted to do for reach outs. And I don't know if anybody actually like wrote them down, put like months of the year or weeks of the month, and is tracking it. I bet you not a single one of you are actually tracking what you kind of talked about for some of your goals. And what we know about data is if it's not tracked, there's no focus at all. There just isn't for anything. So here's some things I wanted to share with you guys a little bit. And of course, let me make sure I'm in my right order of note pages that I'm writing down. It started on a receipt paper. And I'm like, Kelly, stop that. Do not write notes on a receipt paper. That's hilarious. But this is all I had because I didn't have my real notebook near me at the time. So here we go. Okay, you guys. The number one thing that the gentleman asked him that was he was being interviewed said, if you could add anything to the book, because the book is now launched several years ago, it's not new. If you could add anything or change anything to the book, what would you do? And he said, I wouldn't change a thing, but what I would add is when we're talking about habits and routines, ask yourself, is it fun? And I was like, oh my gosh, that's what we talk about. Like, if it's not fun, who wants to do something that's not fun? So keep that in the back of your mind with LifeVantage, you guys, okay? Like, we need to be talking to people with the light that this is fun. We're having a great time. Come join us because no one wants to do something that's not fun. So, number one, and then how do we start adding fun into what we're doing, which we'll talk about. So, number two, am I creating conditions for success? If you don't have a tracker for something, if you don't have printed out your ITT success tracker, if you don't have a notebook that you're counting, like I do 20 reach outs every week, I have 10 follow ups a week. Like, if, and you're like, check, I did my quota, I met the thing, right? What sort of condition have you created? Are you attending our power hours? That's like a perfect condition for making you do the work, right? Number three, this is for all of us, and everybody knew you're going to start with LifeVantage. The third one is we need to master the art of getting started. Because I have a feeling this is a lot of us. We sit down to do some reach outs or some follow ups, but as we sit down, We actually are like, oh, I have some notifications. Oh, what's on my calendar today? Oh, I need to make that appointment for my kid. I better do that. Oh, you know what? I forgot to take out the garbage. I better take out the garbage. Before you know that you haven't created a condition and you never even got started, right? So what's your get started routine? What's your condition? And that's for us on a daily basis when we do the work. Because if somebody were hiring you and you had to clock in, I mean, I was just talking to Andrea, you're not on tonight, but I know you would be okay with me. Andrea works, it's like Christine, they work for the government. Andrea says, no matter where I am, now they're making them come in person, but no matter where I am, every minute of my day is tracked. Where I am, what platform I'm on, what's my work, who am I doing, what, like, everything is tracked. So if everything was tracked for you with LifeVantage, what would that look like? Like, would somebody hire you? Would you say you're the kind of person I want to do business with because you're focused and you're on it and you're getting to work, or you're not really doing it? And we say, oh, we're doing this business, but most of us probably are barely even scraping doing the business. So I really want us to think about, am I mastering the art of getting started? That is like an A and a B. All of us that are already in LifeVantage, the art of getting started is every single day. What am I doing? What's on my block calendar? What am I doing? And when I sit down to do it, am I doing it? So the art of getting started might be you leave yourself a note of this is the first person you're going to contact. This is the first person you're going to follow up with. And this isn't the time I'm talking about social media posts, right? You might have another block time for you're creating some social media. Arthur says I fired him. Another time we're talking about social media. But the only way we make a difference in this business is by reaching out to people, calling them, texting them, messaging them, and following up with them. That's the only way we make a difference in this business. The difference for you might be you've helped some people's health. The difference might be for you, I made a shit ton of money. Like, what you choose, right? Like, what's your marker? I think both are really fun. But we have to know, oh, my getting started is really important. Maybe it means the night before you leave your desk clean. So you don't come back in and you're like, oh, I better organize today. Oh, you guys, we've organized to death. And the other part of this getting started is, and many of you have heard me talk about decision fatigue. People, the greatest asset we waste is our time. The greatest asset is our time, and we waste our time. So when you're like, should I reach out to this person? Should I not reach out to this person? What should I say to this person? Should I not say to this person? How do I make my content like perfect or not perfect? Well, maybe like you think about it, or you think like, oh, I'm gonna, I want to be a MC1 by the time we go to Las Vegas, but yet like you're still getting started. You haven't even started, and you're just thinking. It's our greatest asset, you guys. And so everybody is saying right now, make a decision, do the action. Wasting time is the thief that's robbing all of us. We've got to get to work. And whether it's you're wasting time over a year or you're wasting time in an hour, don't let yourself miss the getting started every single day. The second part about getting started is new people coming in. So I will say there's a handful of people that come in because they're like, well, I'm going to come in as a consultant and get better pricing, and I might share this with people. So you're like, oh, I won't engage with them, and I don't think they're going to do the business. But what I'm realizing is everybody has their own beat and tempo. So no matter what they say, I follow up. How are you? What's going on? Remember, we have Monday night meetings. I'd love for you to come. Do you need a one-on-one? How can I support you? Would you like education about the products? Maybe I let a couple weeks go by. How are you doing? Is this a better time? Would you like to engage? Do you have some friends in mind? Could I help you make some phone calls? I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm so busy. Okay. All right, a couple more weeks go by. So, hey, we have these Monday. Oh, maybe I could make those Mondays. My Mondays have actually cleared. Oh, you know what? I was just talking to some friends and I do need to send them information. How do I do it? This could be 6 months in or 6 days in, but it's my job, no matter who I enroll, to get them started. I'm not being pushy, but once you enroll somebody, you must be that person that, are you ready now? You're not saying, are you ready now? But what your behavior is, are you ready now? Okay. Some people are all in, then they need to back off. When they back off, don't let them float away. It's getting the act of getting started, because the hardest part for people is getting started. The hardest thing. I'm nervous. I don't know. What do I do? How do I do it? We need to take all those obstacles away from them and say, oh, it's so easy. Let me just send you this video. That's all you send to people. By the way, sending the video, just so you guys know, the Biohack and Activate site that we're using, /explore, they are putting in new videos and new healthcare video, a lot of new stuff with P84 and more. So you can't access everything right now. It says like under construction. You can access the first page, but then it says under construction. So just know, Jenny Crane did not know exactly when it would be back up. She couldn't tell me. She goes, just keep checking, Kelly. Honestly, I'm not quite sure. So I just want to let you guys know. Um, but the art of you starting daily and the art of a new person, some people out the gate are like, I'm here to make money, show me, let's go. Other people are just unsure. And I think many of us were a little unsure, right, of what that really looked like. So we need to master the art of getting ourselves started daily, and we need to master the art of getting people started. Love on them is the bottom line. Keep loving on them. And Bonnie, I mean, I'm going to use you an example with Brenda, because Bonnie got started maybe 6 or 7 or 8 years ago. I don't know when it was. It was a long time ago. And Brenda, stayed in contact, but in Bonnie's life and everything, it wasn't her wheelhouse for her at the time. And she has some other things in her life. But Brenda, obviously they're also friends, but on top of that, always was like, oh, something new is happening. This is happening, an article or a product or, and when Bonnie was ready, Brenda's was always there. Oh, would you just like product for your health? If she didn't want to come back as a consultant. And it was, I want to come back as a consultant and I'm really getting a benefit from this. And I think I want to share this with people. And she's here on the meeting, right? So, Bonnie, do you want to just share anything about that kind of getting started, or Brenda, you? Because this is really good, you guys. And I know, like Marcy, if you look at Marcy's last year, I'll say year and a half now, because starting back in October, September, Marcy, you probably have like 20 consultants you've enrolled, or maybe more, right? It's like, oh, where did they all go? It would be lovely to do this gentle getting started type of a thing. But Brenda, please, you and Bonnie, I'd love just to you to share for a moment.
Well, exactly what you said. Bonnie and I kept in contact, and not like every month or even, it was just kind of in between. And like you said, new products came out and I would reach out. And I think it's just all about timing. And the time was right. And she now is doing, she's like a research queen, and she's tried a few new products, and they're working for her. And so, yeah, I'll let Bonnie share like on her end of it. But all I did was I just kept in touch.
Yeah, well, like Brenda said, a lot of stuff happened. I was my mom's caregiver, and so she passed away from cancer. And Brenda kept in touch with me during that time. I couldn't get my mom to do the products, but that's okay. Um, I still kept them in the background, and my mom passed away in 2022. Started coming down with some autoimmune issues. I'm a holistic health researcher since I was 22. So I've learned a lot, and I was a flight attendant, so I talked to doctors, holistic doctors, functional medicine doctors, so they educated me a lot. But recently, my digestive issues were popping up, and my diet kept getting restricted and restricted and more restrict. So I need to do something. I was coming down with dry mouth, dry eyes. Granted, I live in Colorado. Everybody has dry eyes, but the digestive issues were really a problem. And after, I'll say 60 days of being on there, I am now, well, it was less than that. After the first month, I started eating regular gluten. I've been eating pizza, dairy. Like today, I met a friend for breakfast who like me, and I shared today at breakfast about NRF2 Pro Tandem because she's skinny as a rail and she can't eat anything. And a lot of it's stress, oxidative stress. So I shared, and then I sent her information, like you said, let them,
Yay.
and I will check back with her. I mean, I've been sharing at least once a week since I've joined. Haven't had any takers yet, but we'll see. I'm
That's
just,
okay.
And Bonnie's
I,
everybody asking, what were you taking that you feel was what helped you really heal your gut? Were you taking Protandim and P84, Protandim and collagen, Protandim?
actually, it was just NRF2 Pro Tandem, NRF2. It made such a major difference in 30 days that when I travel, I prefer gluten-free and I prefer dairy-free, but I also have osteoporosis. So I know I need more dairy, and I'd rather heal with food than I would with anything else. I was taking a lot of supplements, and now I'm just down to Protandim and maybe a calcium, and that's about it. So
Wow, well, you're gonna supercharge your health when you add in. Do you take the collagen or the P84? Anything else right now?
no, it's on my list. I got to do the P84, I think.
Yeah,
I've been
yeah.
reading gut, and if my gut's doing this well, I'm wondering what it would be like with on the other.
Yeah. And just so you guys
Yeah, the
know,
two of them
on
combined.
the Momentum Monday newsletter, there is a button that you can listen to Dr. Christina Beers with Dr. Lisa Barnes, and they talk about the P84 and collagen and the genes and the benefits of how unique it is together. And just so you guys know, even though they said on the virtual that it activated 358 genes, it was only 358 unique genes. It activated way more genes, but those were so it's pretty powerful. And then they give us they hint too. They didn't really give us a hint on what's coming out in Vegas, but they hinted about you better get excited for Vegas about what's happening and everything. So make sure you go listen to them because again, it just gets us really excited about both of those two products together. So thank you, ladies. Just talking about like getting started and keeping in touch with people on getting started at whatever level they are. The next thing I wanted to say is the routine of showing up. It's kind of like some of us do something and we wouldn't even think twice about not showing up. And I'll use Brenda as an example because I know Brenda's routine at the gym. Brenda goes on her little app and signs up for her classes. And Brenda doesn't even think about signing up for her classes. She just every single week, I don't know if you can sign up 10 days in advance, whatever it is, she signs up for her classes, right? So we need to figure out is our behavior towards LifeVantage built into our routines of showing up? And probably for a lot of us, it's like, oh, kind of not really. But where I want to put that in is our routines and our system is ITT. So I'm going to ask every single one of you. This is the most important thing is we aren't loud enough when everybody says, "Why? How come I don't know about it?" You know how they don't know about it? Because it's our damn fault. That's why people don't know about it. You guys, we have to be honest that the company doesn't sell products. We as consultants sell products. People don't know about it because we are not talking enough about it. If somebody were to hire you and your job was to market somebody, I mean, one of my mentors says she was hired. She had to make 400 cold calls a day. A day. So we can't call 5 people a day? Like, she had 400 a day. They couldn't leave. I mean, that's mind blowing. So I'm just asking you guys to go to the systems. It is in Telegram under New Consultant, but you certainly could just go to hub.lifevantage.com, go to New Consultant Training, and go to the launch guide. In the launch guide, there is a sheet of paper that has you list out for 25 contacts. And yes, I know January is half over, but I don't care. In January, we are going to fill that out to 25. And in February, the goal is like no matter what, we will fill that out to 25. And I'm not saying this to push any of your business. I'm saying this because we're here and it's just creating habits. And do you want to make $300 a month or $30,000 a month. You guys, what we do is the exact same, but it's the same with a little different habits. Most of us have been wasting our time, have not been intentional, have focused on social media and not on reaching out to people or following up with people. And that is what is going to change the needle for people's health. Because I'd rather help 1,000 people versus 10 people. Who would rather see 1,000 people get better and get healthier than 10 people? Oh, yeah. Like, what a profound difference. And so that's our responsibility of systems. So in our power hours, we're going to be going through and literally, and I've been helping Brenda, and we've been like searching hashtags. She has a hashtag she's been searching. I have ones I'm searching, and we just reach out to people, and then they reach back out, and then like 2 or 3 of them, I'm like we haven't set up a time yet. Let's go. But I'm not waiting for them. I'm doing more reach outs and more reach outs because I'm looking for who's looking now. I'm looking for the time now, right? And the only way you'll find that is we just keep going. So the next thing, which was really, really fascinating, is we do well when we feel like this is our territory. And I'll give you an example. Those of you that know, when we moved to Indiana, I loved yoga, and I was doing yoga 3 times a week consistently in Orange County. And it was like ride or die. I didn't miss my yoga. When we moved here, it took me over a year because I was like, well, it's kind of far. I'm not sure. Like, why was I making all this so hard? But because it was so new, the area was new, the studio was new, I didn't know anybody. It was so easy to not do it. But I loved it. But then once you go and you're like, oh, it's familiar. Oh, I like this. Now I've made a couple friends. They attend the same classes. The instructor and I talk each time. You kind of feel like it's your territory. Do you guys feel like maybe like that first day of college? You're like, oh God, I know nothing. Where's my class? The campus is so huge. And by senior year, you're like, I own this place. Like, I know every building and every classroom, and nothing scares you. And you feel so confident because it's now your territory. This is what James Clear was talking about. You need to make what we do our territory, that we feel so good. We identify with these sorts of people. It's our friends with people. And in that, not only territory, but the next part about it is something that if you're in my membership, so probably Brenda and Laura are like sick of me talking about this, but the biggest component for all of this goes to our identity. We will do the habits and behaviors of the identity of the person we are or think we are or believe ourselves to be. James Clear gives a beautiful example of, let's just take a smoker that's quitting. So that smoker, the 2 people get offered a cigarette. One says, oh, no, thank you, I'm trying to quit. The other says, no, thanks, I'm not a smoker. Who do you think is going to do better at stopping smoking? Yeah, you guys can unmute, right? We're a small group. Yeah, everyone say number 2, because he identifies himself as a non-smoker. I tell this to my women's groups all the time. You need to identify somebody as a wellness person, a longevity expert, somebody who ages gracefully. Therefore, the habits you start to choose are in line with that identity. And there's a little bit of like ebb and flow, meaning sometimes we cast this vision of our identity. Therefore, how you think about this identity and feel about this identity, you'll choose the actions and behaviors to follow suit. Some people say, take some small habits towards that identity. It gives you positive reinforcement, and then you start to become that identity. I mean, if you looked at that to a smoker, you can't really make a small habit towards non-smoking to really stop smoking. You have to say, I have the identity of I'm not a smoker. So I really think you have to embrace this identity full force. So you guys, I want you to unmute. I want you to all say, if you were to embrace your identity, because this was the number one thing, I'll speak for me, but a little bit, I think probably for Arthur, I'll let him speak to himself. I couldn't wrap my head around losing my identity as a physical therapist and telling somebody I was a network marketer. That identity for me was like, ooh, sticky, ooey, I'm not sure. Not even like bad, but yet I felt so proud and accolades of saying I was a physical therapist. I, I couldn't wrap my head around it until I'm like, oh my God, my identity is a wellness entrepreneur that's helping people have better health with products that are unbelievable. And I'm doing that as this beautiful network marketer. Like I've embraced my identity. But I think every one of us now is like, what's my identity? What is it? Because that could be the number one thing that's holding you back from the habits because is your identity. So I'd really like a couple people maybe to just say a moment on that. Anyone? Everyone's like,
Are you asking like what we think our identity is now,
yeah,
or
like,
just to comment on what you just said?
I mean, you can either or, but have you thought about you do the actions because of the identity of who you are? So maybe we're not doing the actions of a network marketer because we are not embodying the identity that we are a network marketer or a LifeVantage consultant, right? You could even just say that I'm a LifeVantage consultant and I embody that and embrace that. So I'm going to do these actions and behaviors. Have you even thought about that? And maybe we haven't. And that's maybe the problem of not getting our habits in order or following through because we haven't embodied this identity of a network marketing consultant.
My thoughts is uh because I don't have daily habits to back up the manifestation of like saying I'm a network marketer, like inside it seems fake. So it's almost like a two for me, it would be like you have to be doing the do in order to claim it. But but then I see it in the other end because I understand that when we manifest something, we're not it yet. And so saying it can help in aiding the habit. And so it's almost overcoming that mindset shift for me of saying, because I have learned so much about how network marketing is the oldest, most authentic entrepreneurial like venture that anyone can choose and is pretty much the easiest one to get into when you think about all the different methods of business and things like that. And so I'm actually very proud of it. So I don't know why I don't just say it out loud and say, like, this is the best entrepreneurial venture that anybody can be on. And it's so comparative to anything else, and yet why I don't is I feel like the little habits that we were just talking about
So I think that's
don't back
super
me
great,
up.
Rochelle, right? Because it's making us be honest, like, oh God, I need to one embrace it more and or do the habits more. And I think if we can do both, it could supercharge our businesses. It could take us to a whole nother level. But I think I really wanted to have a real honest conversation. We all think the products are second to none and know they're second to none. And we'll all shout it from the rooftop for forever. But why are we not moving the needle forward is this undercurrent we're not talking about of really embracing the habits with the identity.
Mhm.
Because it is simple, but if it was simple, why haven't we done it? So I asked myself, it's so simple, and I've been in this almost 12 years. Why am I not a pro 10? I mean, a master presidential, right? Like I could say that. I'm not like balking because I'm not, but it is weird. Like I should be so much further. So do I need to change my actions and behaviors? And probably yes, or my results will be the same. Anybody
Yeah.
else want to just any one word on that at all? It's like not really. Everyone's quiet. Come on, you
Well,
guys.
no, I just don't. I want to let somebody else take a turn, but I think what Rochelle said is 100% true. And coming from a career where I went to work and I did not what they told me to, but I didn't have to,
Think about your habits.
I didn't have to think about what I did, I had to plan my lessons and you guys know what I'm trying to say, not very well. But when I stepped out of that and I'm no longer teaching, now I'm like, I always thought I was a very structured, diligent, uh, very, get my
Organized.
work done.
Yeah.
And I am all of those things. But in network marketing, in this, I do a lot of getting ready. Like Kelly, I was just laughing at the beginning. I'm like, I feel like you're spying on me, like you have a camera in here or something. Watch me. But no, it's true. And I started listening to the podcast today on my drive, and I was about the part where he started talking about the systems, and I'm very anxious to continue listening to it because I think that's where I fall short is using the systems that are in place for us. Because not that I try to reinvent the wheel, because as a teacher, that was our number one thing. Why we never reinvented the wheel. We did the rip off and duplicate all day long. Like if somebody made a good lesson plan, I'm using it, and vice versa. So it's just really weird, but I've been struggling with that a lot just recently because I'm not where I want to be, but I know I'm not where I want to be because I'm not doing the things that I need to do to be where I want to be.
Exactly. So all I'm asking you guys is pull out that tracker, right? Pull out the launch guide with page 3. It lists it's 25 people and say, I'm doing my work. My work is I got to get 25 people on this list and I need to follow up with all these 25 people. And the month prior, do I still have people I need to follow up with there, right? Have I put them in biohacking? Have I put them in a 3-way conversation? Have they seen a presentation? That's it. And then we keep asking them until they make a decision. Great. Okay. So, and the hardest thing for all of it is sometimes we get good at it, and maybe it's for a month or two, but there isn't a lot of like, oh my God, look at the change, because all returns are delayed. All returns are delayed. It's like compounding interest. So it's very, it's easy knowing money. Like they say, just put it $10 a day away or this much a month, and okay, don't worry about it. And eventually it's going to make more money. And then all of a sudden you look at your account and you're like, oh my God, did you see how much money? It's like, wow, it's really happening. But in our other life things, we're like, most of the time we don't stick with it long enough to watch it happen in 3 to 5 years. So we're at the beginning, you guys. Let's not waste 2026 because we didn't put in the habits and behaviors. We weren't very good on the getting started. We didn't follow the system. The system is ITT 25 people a month. That's the system. And if you'd ask Marcel, you'd say make sure you're presenting to 15 people a month, right? You're reaching out to maybe a list of 25, and are you presenting to 15 people a month? There we go. And he has a lot more, and he just talks about, it's easy for us to it's just easy for us to check out when things aren't today. But where I want to leave you with is in your habits, the habits that I'm going to help you build and that we're going to get to. What's going to happen in 10 years will be unbelievable for your business. But this is where the rubber meets the road. That's the 10-year. I want you to now think it's either looking at the 10-year or looking at the 1 hour. And what are my habits in 1 hour if I sit down to do the work? Or I sit down to say, I'm going to make 10 messages on Instagram. And before you know it, your hour's gone by and you scrolled on Instagram and you didn't do a damn thing. It's happened to all of us. But it kind of goes back to, have I created before I'm consuming? So I'm not saying go create a bunch of social media. I'm saying either contact people you know in person, use social media to contact people, use it for the follow-up, but that 1 hour will burn you and it will teach you the opposite habit. And when you look about compounding interest, you will have negative compounding interest if you use your 1 hour poorly. And normally if you're sitting down to do LifeVantage, you're probably not blocking out more than an hour. Sometimes I'm doing 2-hour blocks or maybe some other things, but my reach outs might be about an hour blocks. So what is that hour? And are you letting that 1 hour rob you? Because if you are, your 10-year plan will never happen, right? That compounding interest can't happen if you only invest money occasionally. You have to do it weekly or monthly, right? So it's the same thing with what we have. We've got all the tools. We've got all the products. We've got all the videos. LifeVantage doesn't need to do anything. We need to embody our job and we need to just do the system. And if we really embody that and we really do the system, I think incredible things are going to happen, you guys. I actually know. I know incredible things will happen. Arthur and I are having the blessing next month of seeing Amy Homewood. And those of you that got to meet her know that Amy Homewood is presidential. And she went presidential in 7 years and she never did network marketing in her life. Why did she go presidential? Is because she did the behaviors and she didn't waste an ounce of time. She knew what the behaviors took to build a business and she just went and did it. Right? She was looking for people that wanted to build a business. And she had a lot of those contacts, but she just went and built a business. And then she's like, okay, good, I did it. Now I'm on to my next thing. And I'll do that, and then I'll be on to my next thing, and I'll go do that. Because why wouldn't you? If it can take you 7 years to get presidential or 30 years to presidential, like let's go 7. And if you guys know Carrie Dickey's story, Carrie Dickey literally put everything else in her life on hold for 2 years and just reached out and reached out and followed up and followed out and reached out and reached out and followed up. She built her business to presidential in 2 years. And she's just continued to grow it since. Took her 2 years because she sat down and did the work.
With one product or two.
Exactly. Exactly. So you guys, this is just I want it to be fun. I want it to be exciting. I want you guys to be inviting people into the fun. I sit down, make your environment fun. Maybe you put essential oils on, or you like a candle, or maybe you have fun stuff, or maybe you have a great cup of tea, or like make it fun. And if you can, join us for power hours. And if we need other times, because you guys are just like, they do not work for me, tell me, and we'll help create something else. Okay. Here's a couple fast reminders. I will have a link out. We are Zooming a presentation, Arthur and I, for Christy out in Orange County. They have an in-person meeting and we're going to Zoom to it and they're going to show it on a big TV for their guests. So we have that Wednesday night and that is going to be at 5:30 Pacific time. So that's 6:30 Mountain time. So that's like a traditional presentation. And then if anybody wants to join, you've seen me kind of marketing right now, this activated practice. You guys yourself don't need to register. I will just drop in Telegram the Zoom link to it. Because when you register, you get the Zoom link. You guys don't need to register. If you want to, so you see the email flow and the web and the sales page I created and everything I created for it. And the opt-in, it's not the opt-in, but the form you fill out. It might go, oh, that's interesting. This is how I use stuff like this for Go High Level. If you don't care about it, just get the link if you want to join. And you don't have to join. I'm just letting you know. That's at 7 p.m. Eastern Thursday. So that would be 4 Pacific, 5 Mountain, 6 Central Thursday. And LifeVantage has a little special. If you book their hotel, they're giving you like $10 towards swag and some little extra. They're trying to get people, I think their hotel block, they need to fill it. So make sure you've gotten your hotel rooms done and you've registered because there's some people that still aren't even registered for the event. Brenda.
Do you know if we booked our rooms before they made that announcement of that like special? Are they going to honor it for everybody?
I think
Or
it's
just people?
everybody. I think it's everybody who's booked prior
Okay.
to, yeah.
Okay. I've had that question from a couple people. So
Yep. Awesome. Anything else, you guys? I will say, really, anybody that you've brought into this business every week, remind them, join us Mondays. See you Monday. We've got Power Hour. Like, keep doing the getting started. Arthur's saying he loves you to all.
I'll be back.
How are you?
Arthur's saying go IU. Now I love
Oh,
it.
has the game
wow.
started?
But we thought it started 10 minutes ago.
Not yet. Not yet. About to.
Hasn't started yet. Okay. So, anyways, you guys, it is go time. Let's do it and like explode my phone of three-way calls and let's build a massive business and let's just help tens of thousands of people.
Sounds good.
All right. Embody your identity and let's do our habits. Have a great night, you guys.
For you too.
Thanks, Kelly. See ya.
Bye.
All right.
How are you?
Yeah, Marcy, we'll let me end the recording.